Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing some Marriage of Convenience romance recommendations. I'm really excited. This is one of my favorite tropes in romance. So the first one I wanted to share with you was Don't Kiss the Bride by Carrie and Cole. Our heroine, she has an eating disorder because of her mom is a hoarder, and in their house it's very, very messy. When she was younger, her mom would give her like expired food, and ever since then she is very scared to eat certain foods and doesn't want to eat them, and then ends up not eating, and she really needs a lot of help. So she meets this guy who's in construction, and he's a little bit older than her, and she meets him, and they kind of strike up a deal where they'll get married, and he'll because his insurance will like help with her medical needs, and so they get married and they start falling in love, and it's really good. I love this book so much. It's definitely like a slow progression of their romance, which I really love. And it's just so good. It's so good. It's such a sweet romance, and it's definitely an age gap though. And it's just a great book. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. But all of these books are going to be contemporary, and I have one fantasy. I was debating if I should add historicals or not, but I'm not going to, because I want to do a whole video of doing like a deep dive of historical romance, so I'm be doing that. The next book I want to share with you is The Wall of Winnipeg Me by Mariana Zapata. This one is a football romance, and our heroine is the assistant to this famous football player, and he's always been very grumpy and just kind of ick towards her, and so he, out of the blue, asks her to marry him because he is Canadian and he needs to stay in the US to play football. And so I think they get married because of that, but I think deep down he really, really likes her. And it's kind of this slow progression of love, and she starts helping him more, and he starts helping her, and she could use some money, I think, if I remember correctly. But it's just so sweet. It's so good. It's definitely a chunky book, just like Mariana Zapata books are, but it's so worth it. I really, really like this book. Okay, so this next one is The Dragon's Bride by Katie Roberts. This is the fantasy one I was talking about. This is a dragon romance, and our heroine was in a really, really bad relationship, abusive relationship. And so she's like, to get out of this, I'm going to make a deal with this demon where I will be somebody's like sex slave for 7 years. And then I'll be free to do whatever I want and be away from this guy. And so she gets picked by a dragon. And so when she gets there to this like other realm and stuff, they get married because that's like a tradition in this realm. And they start getting together, and it's really good. I really enjoy this book. Very spicy. There is breeding in this one, like the kink breeding, and like some non-consensual scenes, but it's like the thing where she wants it, but they're like playing it that it's non-consensual kind of thing. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good, short, spicy, fun book, and I'm really excited for the rest of the series. Alright, this next one is a new adult mafia romance. It's a part of the Kingmaker series by Sophie Lark. This one's called The Rebel, and it's so good. Our heroine is set to marry this guy, but he's really bad and really creepy and just gross. And our hero has been like watching her and sees that she's kind of in this like trouble and she needs some help. So I really loved this book and how he's like helping her out and she's helping him out. And this is set in that college that is for mafia heirs. And I would really recommend reading this series in order because it'll make so much more sense. But this is a great book. Marriage to Convenience is kind of that she is marriage to convenience to this other guy, but then something else happens. So I really love this book. I love just like the sweetness of it and how he's kind of helping her out where she's like stuck in this situation. But it's really good. I really like it. Highly recommend. The next book is a very popular book, but I really enjoyed it. Just Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This one is where our heroine is the assistant to this big CEO guy. This is the second book in this series. And he needs to marry somebody, and he's to get like this inheritance thing from his grandfather, who was like the owner of this company, which is kind of like Disney World or Disneyland. And he's supposed to marry this other girl, but he kind of makes her mad and she like storms off. And so he's like, why don't you marry me? So they're like the new couple and they're gonna get married. He's very grumpy and she's very like, I think sunshiny a little bit. But he slowly starts opening up to her when they're, you know, married and have to be in married life. It's really cute, and them having to live together and finding different ways to figure out like things that they're going through as a couple. Like one of the things was she brought all of these plants and he's like, I don't like these plants. But he let it happen for her, and I really, really like that about this book. Okay, the last book is a shocker to no one, and that's Brittle Prince by Sophie Lark. This one is a mafia marriage of convenience between two rival mafia families, and the heroine and hero hate each other at the beginning. She actually tries to poison them on the wedding day, which I think is hilarious. But there's just such great banter in this one, very action-packed. It's the first book in a series, and I just love this book so much, so definitely go check it out. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love marriage to convenience books, romances, so definitely if you have any recs, leave them down in the comments below. I have some new lighting in like with filming that I'm trying to figure out, so it was a little glary on my glasses today, so we'll see. We're gonna try to figure out the kinks. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.